There's a lot of cope going on Twitter, folks. A lot of cope. As you all know, most likely you've heard over the weekend that the Marvels had like a $6.5 million preview opening day. That ain't good. And it's also made, I think, like, what, 30 or 20 some odd million or 30 some odd million. It has the lowest opening in MCU history. It has the lowest opening. And people are losing their collective minds over it. So we got this guy here, Alden Diaz. And, well, he's flipped his lid. So let's go over this. Anyone or any reporting on the Marvel's box office that doesn't mention the fact that its stars were on strike and unable to promote it at all is incomplete and irresponsible at best. Promotional materials have immense value. That stuff helps build movie-going experiences now. No, it really doesn't. It did way back when, like in the 90s and stuff, when they started getting trailers and stuff out. But, yeah. It really, or sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. By the way, the stars being on strike does not necessarily impact a movie's box office. I mean, a good example would be Oppenheimer, Barbie. What else came out? Mario Brothers. All these movies were put out during the strike. They all made $1 billion. So let's continue with that. So you're wrong there, pal. That's the first thing that should be included. But there are others. The ongoing right-wing hate campaign against its top-billed performer. Right-wing. I know people who I know people all over the political spectrum that hate Brie Larson because of her really hateful comments. The fact that she was racist during her promotion of her first Captain Marvel movie. The fact that she was sexist during her first Captain Marvel movie promotions. The fact that she didn't get along with her freaking castmates. It was on a freaking interview where she got into an argument with freaking Chris Hemsworth and Don Cheadle. So yeah, let's see what else you got. The new storm of false bullshit surrounding its director. Oh, you mean the fact that she kept on going on race-baiting comments during her promotion and the fact that she says she's done with Marvel because it's unfair to women? Playing the victim card left and right? The fact that it's more diverse than the first one. What the hell does that have to do with anything? The fact that one of the shows it follows underperformed on streaming except in POC households because of general misogyny, Islamophobia, people not taking teenage girls seriously. Did you seriously say that? And getting sent out to die against Star Wars or Legacy Star Wars Kenobi series. Well, first off, let's take a look at that Kamala Khan show that nobody watched. Nobody cares about the character Kamala Khan, except for those die-hard comic goers who paid attention to her character in the comics. And even then, they didn't want anything to do with the show because they were changing her powers. In the comics, she was never a mutant. She was never an enhanced individual. She was an inhuman. You know, the ones who become empowered through the Terrigen mists. Well, yeah. Not to mention, it had nothing to do with her being a Muslim. Except that they felt that they needed to bash people over the head with that sort of stuff in the show. Nobody cared because it looked bad. And the fact that you're saying that nobody's taking teenage girls seriously, nobody in real life takes teenage girls seriously because they're at a developmental stage that nobody thinks that Nobody thinks they are any form of competent because of the fact that they are very emotional. That is a fact, folks. Yes, there are some exceptions. I'm not going to dispute that. But, I mean, most of the girls in my family when they were teenagers were very, well, they were very outspoken. Not all of them. I mean, earlier generations than me were very much proper and whatnot. But newer generations, when they hit teenage years, they're doing all sorts of shit that people are like, yikes. Not going to get into details and whatnot, but that happens with every freaking family of teenage girls. So yeah, what the heck? Also, Kenobi? People didn't like Kenobi either. It also got low ratings. The fact that this is the first project taken, the specific bullet of parts of the buildup were behind a paywall. So you're saying that maybe Disney is at fault for putting that shit behind a paywall and making it required viewing? Yeah. It won't be the last thing to experience for this for Marvel and Lucasfilm, for Disney overall, or Hollywood in general, but next tweet. Of course it has to... Next tweet. What the frig, man? Making me sound like Joe Biden. Of course it has to be the film starring a diverse trio of women, directed by a black woman, that goes out to deal with this landscape first. And nobody cared about the fact that it was a black woman directing. Nobody cared about the diversity of the movie. You guys are just playing those victim cards because they're convenient for you. I grew up in the 90s under the Martin Luther King doctrine, judge not by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character. The content of their character were very negative, and thus they were judged as such. But continuing, not Cap 4 or Filoni Star Wars film or Avengers or anything else that will surely have to climb this hill. Folks, this was not the first movie to get destroyed at the box office by people who were just sick of all of this crap. But anyway, the fact that the box office numbers are largely taking a hit in general, that's just been a reality post-COVID. Barbie, Super Mario Brothers, Oppenheimer. Oh, also, what was that other movie that came out? Oh, right. Was it during the strikes? I don't think it was, but Guardians 3. Yeah, actually, I think Guardians 3 happened just as the cast started, or just as the strikes started happening. But yeah, Quantumania got all sorts of stuff, or all sorts of promotion, but that movie bombed. I mean, before the strikes, movies were bombing, and it wasn't because of post-COVID. It was because people just weren't interested. But yeah, 3 solid examples of your case being utterly destroyed. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Super Mario Brothers. All released during the strike, all made $1 billion. What's your next excuse? The fact that fans of this particular world who complained nonstop about the films being too interconnected for phases 1 through 3, none of us complained about that being connected because it showed that Marvel had a solid plan, are now complaining that they aren't building to a connected goal nearly enough. That's because they are showing how incompetent they are without the original group. Not to mention you have people like the directors attacking fans. Not to mention you have terrible writers now because they're all being hired based on not their merit, but by their physical attributes or their superficial attributes. Oh, you're a lesbian? We'll let you write. Oh, you're black? Okay, you automatically get a job. Oh, you're Hispanic and you're deaf? We'll put you behind the camera. That ain't racist to say, folks. That's basically how Hollywood is instituting their freaking work policies now. Well, not after the strike anymore. They're actually thinking about going back to merit-based system, which they should. You might actually see an increase of talent and an increase of quality in movies now that they're going back to merit-based hiring. But during the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion thing, they weren't basing it off of merit. They were saying, oh, you poor victim, we're going to hire you based on your skin color or your sexuality, and you're going to be the future of our work. And look at what happened. Mr. Sexuality and Skin Color didn't do a good job, and then people cry victim. But continuing on. So this is not getting the watch this next boost from something like Infinity War. Now hurts it a lot more in terms of perceived importance, a lack of clarity for the average casual fan about where to watch, seeing lots of talk about people thinking it's a Disney Plus series. Well, that's the problem. Disney Plus created all those series instead of making them movies. You should be putting your blame at Disney Plus and Disney. They were the ones who created that particular problem. I could go on. The whole conversation is mostly stupid, and it further plays into the "what have you done for me lately" attitude from internet fans about this franchise. Well, here's the thing. They are supposed to entertain us. And if what they made was good, they're doing that for us. If what they did is bad, well, we are going to voice our displeasure. We are going to let people know this was not that good. This could have been better if they had gone this route, and so on and so forth. But no, you want to say, oh, it's about what have you done for me lately? Well, honestly, they haven't done shit for the casual moviegoer or for the fans. Instead of respecting fans, instead of being like the director of Sonic the Hedgehog and saying, we hear you, we're going to fix this. No, instead they're like, oh, just call them a bunch of racists, bigots, and homophobes, and then we'll whine even more when our movie fails. You think that people are going to go to the theaters if they hear you insulting them? No. This is the actors and directors' fault. They made their beds, they have to sleep in them. And unfortunately, their beds are covered in mouse shit. Disney reference, folks. So, it'll be dead and back, then dead, then back, depending... What the frick, man? Depending on what people like and what narrative they want. Well, yeah, have you noticed the movies that people went to, gave $1 billion for? Or a bunch of kids loved the Mario movie, so they went and wanted to, or the parents brought their kids to support that movie. Barbie, as much of a fluke as it is, got $1 billion because a lot of people who grew up liking Barbie wanted to see what the movie was about. That movie was not good. From what I hear, I'm not going to watch it. But also you have Oppenheimer, which is a Nolan film, Christopher Nolan. That's an automatic draw because he does good work. So yeah, these movies made billions of dollars or $1 billion because they had the right draw. Where Disney keeps on pushing this, you're homophobic, you're sexist, and you're bigoted if you don't like the diversity that we are shoving down your throat. We go to a movie to escape the reality of our world, which currently sucks right now. We do not go there to have it shoved down our throat and freaking preached at and said, believe in this or you're a bigot. That's not why we go to the theaters. But anyway, moving on. This will be Marvel's solo a Star Wars story, inasmuch as people will harp on the box office forever without ever really discussing the film. From what I hear, the film just wasn't that good. I mean, there's literally a line, use black girl magic. What the frick is that all about? And, none of them will even consider context when breaking it down, like Bob Iger admitting fault for Solo's release window. The reason why Solo was in such a bad reception was because Kathleen Kennedy kept on firing writers and directors. And it's because of Kathleen Kennedy that Star Wars received its very first box office bomb. Continuing. That's all there is to this. So yeah, this guy has given a half-baked and very ignorant take as to why people are hating on it. It's just like it's just basically like the everybody else. Oh, the movie was diverse. You should have liked it. It was diverse. Nobody cares about that. We care about entertainment. That is why we do what we do on here. We are entertainment reviewers. If you're showing us stuff that isn't entertaining and is shoving all this diversity, equity, and inclusion shit in our faces, we don't care about that. We want to be entertained. If they would stop marketing this shit based on, first black director this, first female director that, we wouldn't care about it. Nobody cares about that. I am judging people based on their actions, not based on their superficial or physical attributes. Anyway, folks, I just wanted to give you this box office report. $6.5 million opening day, domestic. It's kind of hurtful, and it's kind of bad. Plus, 40 some odd million now, 50 some odd million now. That's still pretty low. It shows that they're failing. And that's a good thing because they need to learn the lesson of stop putting identity politics in movies, start focusing on the entertainment of people, and maybe, just maybe, you will earn their trust back. Me, you're too far gone. You've gone way out there, and I'm sorry, my lifeline only extends so far. I'm done with Marvel, I'm done with Star Wars. I'm focusing on the movies that were good, that were done in the past, that maybe they should take a page out of and start making them that way again. You know? Not overly white, not this or that, not focused on identity politics, but focused on entertainment. You can have a movie that's diverse. Look at Alita Battle Angel. That movie was great. Had a lot of diversity in it. And yet, people loved it, but the media hated it. You have a movie that's naturally diverse, and people hate it. You have a movie that's overly diverse, and people suck it up like good little mouse slaves. Anyway, yeah, that's the video, folks. This movie is looking to be a box office bomb. Probably going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars in the box office because people are just sick and tired of Brie Larson and Disney and them shoving their sexism and bigotry down our throats and then claiming victim when people show or start speaking with their wallets. So let me know what you all think. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Put your comments down in the comment section below, folks. What do you think of this fool, Alden Diaz? I made sure to follow him just so I could find the darn thing, and then I bookmarked it just for good measure. But yeah, I don't need to follow him anymore. But I saw this, and it's like, yeah, I got to comment on this because of the sheer insanity. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for later tonight for the Return of the King stream. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay humble.